Merry Meet Prosperous people. I'm Felicitas with Felicitas Metaphysical Boutique, here with the collective reading. Now, just the other day, I was coming back home from dropping off my kids at school when I noticed a murder of crows swarming a tree near my storage unit. Now, previously, a few days before that, me and my kids witnessed a murder of crows swarming a tree, probably like attacking a hawk. I'm assuming it was a hawk again because I didn't see the hawk this time. But these crows were angry, and it was more intense than the last time I saw it. Now, I took a video and I will post this on my YouTube just so you can see like what I was seeing. But this murder of crows were swarming this tree, taking turns dive bombing, probably at a hawk. And then they would like leave, a few would stay, and then the swarm would come back. And they would leave and they would come back. But this seemed more intense than the last time. And the last time I was imagining being the hawk. This time I was imagining being all the crows. And later on, I decided to go for a walk with my daughter to see if like, hey, maybe some of them left some feathers because we like to collect feathers. So later in the day, because that was in the morning that I saw this, later in the day after school, I was like, sweetie, let's go for a walk before we go get your brother from school. So we went for a walk and we went over near that area, and in the bushes, we found a dead crow. Now, death is really hard, okay? Especially losing a member of your circle. And I just recently found out that I lost somebody very dear to me from childhood, and the pain is still deep, even if you don't have an intimate relationship with them for a while. But if that person held a very significant part of your heart and was very important for you growing up, the loss of them is still painful. Now, this swarm of crows, they were angry. They were upset. They lost one of their own, and they were seeking vengeance. They were mourning and grieving the loss. The message that I was getting from Spirit when seeing the picture clearly after seeing the dead crow is that many of us are mourning some form of loss. We are going through a lot of grief at this time. Now, with grief, it could be a loss of a loved one. It could be a loss of a friend. It could be the grief of your child growing up and moving out of the house on their own. It could be grief in letting go of the old self while you're transitioning to being someone new. There's grief when we have to let go and what it feels like a loss. And with this grief, I'm here to tell you that that means you loved deeply. Grief wouldn't be here without love. Let's channel with our collective spirit team about what we are grieving right now. What is it that our collective is grieving at this time? How can our collective help process this grieving? How can the collective help process this grieving? What can we do? And where are we headed after this loss? Oh, got 2 cards that came out for that one. So we'll do that. This is our reading to help us process grief. So what is it that our collective is grieving at this time? We have the 4 of Pentacles. 4 is stability. When we lose someone or something, or letting go of the old self, our stability, our foundation may feel cracked, shaking, or shattered. We may be feeling like we're losing our grounding. Now, this is supposed to happen because it helps us when we break something like a bone. I'm going to give you an analogy. When you break a bone and it heals stronger than it was before. Okay? When you lose something in which you start feeling grief, it makes your love even stronger. Grief is another form of love. So we are losing something in our 3D world. Pentacles are material things. Some may be grieving a loss of home. Some may be grieving a precious possession. Someone may be grieving a partner who has been their support for so long. A grandmother, a grandfather, a sister, a brother, a parent. This could be grieving and losing the old you that was in survival mode to get you here. You may be grieving that loss because you loved so deeply. And it could feel like your foundation is just crumbling around you. This is what grief feels like. This is what this collective is feeling right now. Okay? And it's okay to feel it. Now, what can we do to help us through this? I believe is what I said before. We have the 3 of Wands. This is hope. This is looking to the future, choosing to move forward. What Spirit is saying here, to don't dwell on the loss. You can honor it. You can let yourself feel it, but don't let it consume you. When I got the letter about a dear family friend of mine passing, his wife said, I'm not going to quote because I probably can't quote it correctly, but, and we move on and we move forward. Because the world does move on. The world does move forward, even after something's gone. But they are not forgotten. This is hopeful for the future, that after this grief, the grief will still be there, but it won't be as pertinent and intense. You'll be able to find hope again to move forward. Focus on self-care. What can you create to build happiness again? What can you create to remember what was once lost? For myself, I honor my past self with this coffin ring. It creates beauty in the present moment, and it's a blue fire moonstone. Can't really see the blue flash, but it's a really bright blue flash. It also makes me feel sadness for what was lost, but honoring the past and letting it go. This is hope. I'm going to say that over and over again. This is hope for the future. This is looking forward and choosing to move on with your head held up high. The best things that we can do for what is lost is to live on. Live on. And remember, never forget. Always remember. Now, where is it leading to? We got two cards here. We got death and justice. What is lost, and we're moving on to the future, is providing us a chance to be reborn. Because we will no longer be the same once this is gone. There is a balancing out of energy. Remember, everything happens for a reason. Now, in my situation, I hadn't seen this person in probably 13 years. Yeah, 13 years. Okay. But that's how it was meant to be. It's accepting that how things played out, how things were lost or let go of, it's supposed to help you in the process of your transformation. So you can be open to receiving the justice for your own actions and balancing out the energies in the universe. Now remember, if you lost somebody, that person is still around to help you. And sometimes you can feel them. Sometimes you can sense them. And you might all of a sudden just start thinking about them heavily at one day, like I did with this person. And it was for like a week where I couldn't stop thinking about them. And I was like, why? Why are they on my mind? They were there talking to you, letting you know that they're here. They're supporting you even after. They're helping you bring about your justice in the spiritual realm, okay? Your old self is also still here with you too, helping you move forward, if that's what is being let go and what you are grieving. But a balancing is happening, okay? It's your time to transform and take flight into the new you with the support of what has passed. And it's going to be a beautiful future. Okay? So just remember, be hopeful, look to the future, and create, and live on. Live on, and never forget. What a beautiful reading. May you and yours be prosperous wherever you turn. May you find happiness in every moment. Blessed be. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who has made it to the very end of this video. And for all of my subscribers, a deep gratitude towards all of you. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. It is the best way to support me in providing these readings to you. Would you like to dive in deeper with a personal one-on-one reading with me about whatever it is that you may be grieving at this time? I'll provide a link to my website in the description of this video below so you can contact me to schedule a reading.